All right, people. My name is Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. It's our Monday live stream, people. I'm going to make a couple of quick adjustments on the fly here, and we'll start this in just a flash. And there you have it. All right, dollar silver. Holy moly, you're first on the bus. Good to see you. Static Mantra. Love that name. Grand Madness. Good to see you. Spelled chili head wrong, man. But thank you. Dollar silver. I'm good tonight. I hope you are too. The Telescope Yard. Love the name. Charles McClellan. Look how fancy that bus looks. Good to see you, man. To the 12 of the bus festivals and all the other riders on the bus. There's 40. I think there's 40 now, actually. It's growing. Sonny the Beast. Robert Walden. Good to see you, man. I'm good. Dad's old Honda Civic 2.0. That's great. Good to see you. Manuel. Good to see you. Chihuahua leg. Nice to see everybody. Jimmy Pickles is in the house. How cool is that, guys? Jimmy Pickles here. Candies were delicious. They really are. You got to get some. They're amazing. Hi, Ed. Good to see you, man. Charlie Mullins. Mom's doing better? Please give us an update, man. Chili Mancer. Very, very cool. Good to see you, man. The Dude Guy. Like the stream, peeps. Yeah, you know what? You know what they say. They say, in theory, if you like the stream, more people see it. The right people are going to find it. You know, I don't know. It's been pretty organic. I don't think I've ever said, other than mocking people who say it, like, comment, and subscribe. Never do. Sounds too silly to me. And anyhow. Subtle Eel, good to see you. Alvester Sheffield, good to see you. Brian Young, nice to see you, man. Work's been kicking your butt, Brian. Sorry, man. Hang in there. Please hang in there. Caleb, good to see you, man, from Missouri. Very cool. Static. See you. I'm not going to eat pepper spray. What I am doing is something very special. I'm going to answer a few more questions before I do it, though. Trevin Davis, good to see you. Static Mantra, what kind of music do you like? Are you a metal fan? Yeah, I like metal. I like metal. I don't play as much metal as I listen to. I play mostly kind of. Listen, I picked up the first time I picked up the guitar was in the 80s. So it's kind of where my head is stuck as far as playing. But yeah, I like metal for sure. Doing so, moving slow. That was rough, man. That car looked bad. Glad she's doing better though. All right, let's see here. Dollar Silver picked up 3 hot sauces. 3 super hot sauce at Carolina Reaper, Apocalypse Scorpion, and Prima Talia, and Jigsaw Pepper, all in one bottle. Nice. 7-pot white sauce, chocolate bula. Watchman, good to see you. Speaking of chasing, Dad is old Honda wants to know how long you let that chin tail grow. We've been enjoying the progress. You have no idea how long it is, you guys. It's down to my belly button. Next time it gets trimmed, Bree's going to do the trimming. Here's the thing. Bree really likes it, you know. So even when it's out, she likes it. She likes beers, man. So I'll lean into the pitch, take one for the team. Ranger Mark, good to see you, man. Heading to a wedding. Great question. This is important. Heading to a wedding next week. What hot sauce should I bring to unleash havoc? Well, are you really looking to unleash havoc? Because if you really want to do a number on somebody, get Doomed from Hellfire Hot Sauce. Brutal. 2.4 million Scoville. Here's the thing about that. It doesn't take much. The only problem is, I don't know how bad you want to hurt people. See, I'm not really a fan of punking people. If these are people that like hot stuff, think it over, man. Tom Broom, good to see you. We're about to, in just a few minutes, we're going to do this. I did, Craig. I did hear about Gary. Oh man, he was the last living member of Leonard Skinner, and what an amazing guitar, soulful, just melodic as can be. Melodic as can be. What a great, yeah, it's a loss. Um, yeah, definitely praying for Charlie's mom, for sure. Yeah, that's a bummer, man. Where can I buy fresh peppers online? Right now, you probably can't, Cole. And just because it's the off season, you can a rare person that finds has a indoor grow room or a greenhouse, but usually they're spoken for. But where can I buy fresh? Oh, asked that one. Okay, real quick before I do a blast a tincture. Yeah, Evil 24 would do it, Tom. Yeah, boy, that's not even funny. Yeah, look at all the buses, man. Charlie, Charles, got Brandon Bond in the house, Tom Broom, all kinds of buses. Very, very cool. All right, so I want to just quick shout out to the bus riders. Hey, I don't know if I told if you weren't there, there's a lot more buses on the bus now. Dizzy Dragon's here too. All of the videos where I'm telling the story about my story, they're all demonetized. I don't really care, but they're all demonetized because of the content. YouTube's, certain words they're picking up. It is what it is. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you. We're gonna go. Usually, I go start the people who join first. I'm gonna go backwards this time. Dagger Watkins, Marshall Johnson, Skidmark. Man, what a great name. Ted Hammond, Dizzy Dragon, Tom Broom. AKA Heather Joy, love her. Joe Smith, the Scotch Sonnet. You guys see the video I put up today? Scotch Sonnet, put that together. Darren's a rock star. Chris Carruthers, Mr. Wolf, Ed Pagulian, the third. Burt Miranda, George Masters. Get your calls. Brandon Breeding, Anthony Ivy, Barella, Bizzle, 636, Tristan Angstrom, Wilder Napalm, great name. Ragdoll Racing, I love that one too. Scott Banta, Militant Vegan. Who doesn't love that name? On the bus, Harvest 912. Speaking of Harvest 12, I went Harvest 912. I hung out with Tad today. We had so much fun. Corbin Remmert, my friend Jeff, Buddha Davis, Chad Matthews, Brandon Bond, Charlie Mullins, December Night Skies, Alan Ballantyne. One more page and we're done. I'll get through it quick, guys. These are great guys. They're seeing demonetized content. Uncle Bullcow, Invader Grimm, John Estestad, Drew B, Robbie Robertson, Lord Kissfree, Tugardo, Charles McClellan, and Jen DV. 138. Guys are awesome. The Reaper Teacher, good to see you. Brandon Bond, thanks for being here, man. Robert Walden, good to see you. The Striped Sugar Rush, Bacon Pepper Seeds. What a great pepper. All right, you guys. So, we've been talking about this. Tom Broom, since you're in the chat, this is the man who made this. Could you, in the chat, could you do me a favor and let everybody know how many bottles you have of this to sell? Here's what's happening. These are available today, all right? If you're on the bus. As soon as this video is over, I'm going to make a video and I'll upload for the bus pass, which will have the promo code. 1 week from today, it'll go public and anybody else, anything that's left over will be available, okay? What this is Tom's vintage aged tincture. It is just, it's aged a lot. It's hot as can be, but it's got such characters. I don't drink anymore, moving up on 4 years. But people like, I remember hearing about like a case of whiskey that was found from a shipwreck. It's been underwater for 150 years. And the bottles are like, everybody's just drooling over this because they're old. He has 27 bottles, you guys. I reckon by the end of tonight, that number is going to be smaller. But I think when you age stuff, it's just like fermented sauce. It's a process. Like wine, you don't just throw it together. It takes time. And, the aged tincture that Tom makes, it's just incredible. It really, really is. It's so different, too. I mean, if you have the 6 month, the 12 month, the 9 month, it doesn't matter what age, the character changes each one, and so does the heat. It's amazing. And you were right, Tom. It was a little sludgy the other day on those gushers down to the end. What happens when you have tincture, if you don't use it fast enough, you get down to the end, the alcohol evaporates off, and you're just left with this sludge. Hang on a minute. Scotty Fox, holy moly. Glad to catch you live, finally. I've been able to follow you for years now. How are you doing tonight, brother? Good. Scotty, it's amazing. Tom Broom was just talking about you a minute ago. We're like, when do you think Scotty Fox is going to show up? We were hoping it'd be tonight. And lo and behold, here you are, man. How cool. All right, guys. Tom Broom's tincture. So today I have half a dozen chicken wings to eat. That's all I've had today. I need to eat something. The just amazing pepper flakes taste, smoothness, and a character that I'm not even blowing it up. You guys, people, listen. There are people in the thread who've had his tincture. He'll tell you, but it's just really, you know that. Here's the thing I get from Tom's tinctures. If somebody else has said tinctures, don't be offended by this. But I've never had this feeling with other tinctures. A lot of times, more often than not, when you try a tincture, Tom, you almost get the sense that it's a special, like it's special. This is a special tincture. You know what I mean? And this is so available today. He's had 7 people asking, but they don't have a passcode yet. Yep. So Tom is. I have the passcode. It's just like a little. What's the key word? Like the fat man walks alone, the eagle has landed. A warped barrel is a fool's frustration. Something like that. We'll have a little word for you. And then you can either go through Tom's Facebook and use PayPal. If you don't, he has an alternate email address and he can accept credit cards. So you're good to go. You guys are going to be in good shape. I claim one of the new tinctures, Tom. Dibs. How funny. That's great. Fire on the Bayou. Good to see you. Italicizer. Is that fermented kind of limousine type Louisiana? No, it's not fermented Louisiana. This is just super intense, very concentrated. No, I shouldn't say intense. It's intense but mellow. It's not biting at all. It's just an amazing, peppery, very, it's just got character. It's got really, really great flavor. It has great flavor. It's just pepper. It's not flavored drops like look. This is empty. Which one's empty? This one. The orange is gone. This stuff is amazing. These are orange flavored drops. These are also by Tom. These are lemon flavored drops. Now if you had this, it's just very, very lemony. This doesn't have a drop flavored drop, so it's just pepper. So if you like pepper, this is just like, you know what it is? It's like a really fine aged wine, like a Chateau Lafite or something. I'm not trying to blow that proportion. It's special though, it really is. I got you, Charlie Mullins. You hear me? I got you. Somebody asked me, how do I have pods in the wintertime? Who said that? Hang on a second. I want to find that. It snuck by me. How are you able to keep your peppers fresh year-round? I don't. I eat them. In fact, the average shelf life of the peppers in my house, man, they don't. I have very few left, and I take self-control, and I don't have a lot of it when it comes to peppers. I'm just being honest with you. It is what it is. So, this is the off season. I have friends. I'm very fortunate with Tom Broom. Tom has sent me peppers every month for the last year and a half. And some people grow, in Florida you can get an extra grow. Some people have grow rooms, but by and large you got to wait till the new season starts. Yeah, Scotty, the tincture is really, listen, the thing about the tincture is great. It tastes great. It's good on food. It's good on ice cream. It really does taste amazing. It gives you a great endorphin rush if you use enough of it. However, it's a phenomenal tolerance builder, big time. Am I tasting the sweet taste? Yeah. Yeah. Compared to the 24 for sure. There's no sweetness in the 24 really. Yeah, there is kind of a sweetness to this that is absent. And, if I did them side by side, a little bit more noticeable. The 24, the evil 24, that is just stupid hot. Alejandro, man, good to see you. Do you recommend adding salt to the peppers in order to bring out the flavor? Salt is so good on peppers, especially if you cook them. If like, sometimes I take peppers, not super hot because it gasses me out, but if I have medium heat peppers, I'll saute them in a pan with oil. Salt and pepper is amazing. Vitaly Knowles, hope all is well, man. It is. Thank you for being here. Pretty cool you stopped by. Flamin' Jackson, love you, man. You're a good dude, man. It's not sludgy at all, Reaper Teacher. It's amazing. Listen, if you let any tincture, if you just let it sit around and you don't use it, it's going to get sludgy. I have some tincture that was made by my friend Damon from It Only Burns Twice Chili Peppers. It's a Primatali tincture. And it was sludgy the day I got it. It was, I mean, sludgy. And it's so bad now that I can't even get it out. What I do is I just dip the dipper in it and lick the glass because it won't. It's too thick to even get pulled into the tube. Yeah, peppers last about a week or two. You know, here's the thing. It really depends. It depends on when you. If the growers, I have the good growers will ship them the day they pick them, and that's really good. I've had peppers shipped to me from Germany that arrived to me on a Monday. And they were in such great shape, I didn't eat them until Friday from Germany. I have peppers on the way right now coming from Australia. So once they arrive and you have them, if they're in good shape, you know, putting them in the fridge is going to help. Keep them longer. Don't put them in the freezer unless you know you can't eat them and you don't want to throw them out. Because you can always let them thaw out and put them in food. But if you thaw them out and chew on them, oh, you're going to hate it. Mr. Wolf. Good to see you, man. That 7-pot watermelon stuff is yummy. Drew Lee! Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Alejandro Alvarez, what peppers do you recommend to saute? It really depends on your heat level. I can saute some relatively hot stuff and still fade the gas, but I remember early on, just jalapenos would be troublesome. You got to know when you saute peppers, the capsaicin turns into a noxious fume. I mean, they turn into fumes, and the gas, it's amazing. It wants you to stop breathing. I've had a couple of really scary moments. I had one, I tell a funny story from 7 years ago, Christmas Eve. I had some peppers that were amazing, and I wasn't going to be able to eat them all. I didn't want to freeze them. So I decided I was going to make some sauce. My wife at the time was upstairs, her 2 sons, and a dog was in the house. I started cooking them, and I was like, I remember putting my head away from it, just sauteing them, trying to get as far away from the skillet as I could. Had the fan going. Next thing you know, I'm opening the windows and the door. My eyes are watering. I'm coughing. Everybody just filed out of the house, dog included. They were gone. It was Christmas Eve. They were so mad at me. They were gone. And this is like 11 o'clock right before noon. They were gone all day. And when they came back, I thought it was fine, right? So I'm like, they came home. I'm like, it's cool. It's all right. I'm so sorry. They walked in. It's still bad. And they walked out again. I thought it was fine, you know? Kind of a drag. All right. Tom Broom says, even the people in South Florida where it doesn't freeze still have months where the plants don't produce. It's the reason I'm picking every month is I'm staggering new plants and all during the... See, Tom's got such a system. I need to make a visit, Tom. It's been a while. Blake Anderson, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Dizzy Dragon, I was watching your story sessions. I get you a lot. It's going to get hairy, dude. The one this Friday. If they've been demonetizing them, you wait to see what they're going to do Friday. It is what it is, man. And, you know, look, it is what it is. Reaper Teacher, it's the first time you've caught me live. First time we've had the fortune of having you on the bus while we're live. Thank you. Christopher Allen, good to see you. One thing I like is the growth season's so long. I wonder if you can freeze a pepper, if the seed will still grow. I'm going to defer that question to Mr. Tom Broom, if he's in the chat, or if Jimmy Pickles is still in the chat. If you freeze seeds, Mr. Broom, if you freeze seeds and then thaw them out, are they still viable seeds, or is that going to make them infertile? Please let me know, or let Christopher Allen know. Good question, man. It is smart. You know, it's really interesting, Alan. He's got such a system with everything, you know. It's funny. I've been to a lot of different, an awful lot of different farms, pepper farms, and everybody's got. Nobody just tosses seeds in the ground and goes Dominus Vobiscum. I mean, everybody's got a system, and everybody thinks they do something. It's funny. Every grower I've been to has got something they like. Don't say anything to anybody. But listen, here's what I do. And I've got secrets that everybody claims makes a huge difference. I don't tell any secrets to anybody. I don't betray trust. But it's funny. Everybody approaches it different, but everybody's got a secret. It is really funny. Yeah, the man forest. Man, dude, Tom Broom's got the coolest man forest. I talked about it, you guys. You need to see it. It used to be the most wooded backyard, and he cleared it out. And now you got these big trees, and the forest floor is just like, it's like the top of a pool table. It's just pristine, and it's shaded, and it is just screaming man forest. It's amazing. Tadrum, I don't live in Reno anymore. Live in South Carolina currently. Scotty Fox, best site to order fresh pods, in my opinion, personally. I'm in the market. Right now, you're not going to have anybody because it's the off season, Scotty. When the season gets going, boy, there's a bunch. There really is a bunch. And here, you got Tom Broom in the chat right now. You got Linda's Fiery Treats. You've got Abercrombie Hot Peppers. You got, I know I'm going to forget a bunch. There's so many great ones. Tomas Spillane is amazing. Randy Keaton from Keatley Farms is amazing. There's a bunch of good ones. All right, so Tom Broom. Now I'll tell a story. I gave a guy a Reaper pod at a hot pepper night. He contacted me 5 years later and told me he started plants from the seeds. Got good germination too. I'll tell you a story. It wasn't frozen, so I didn't bring it up. But I have a friend who, if you believe him, he has a pod called the 420, Moruga 420. His name is Ron. Claims he got it at a concert in like the 70s. Somebody goes, hey, you want to go out back? He thought he was going out for 420 purposes. That's why he called it the 420 pepper. The guy just wanted to give him pepper seeds, turns out. So anyway, he got the pepper seeds, went back. He said he stuck him. I can't remember if he waited 10 years and then grew him or grew him. Bottom line is 10 years went from the time he got it to the time he germinated them, and that's the current crop he has. So, I don't know. Take that. Time isn't that much of a factor, so maybe freezing isn't either. The man, the myth, the chili head, Barella. Good to see you. Tom's got great stories. Tom's fun to hang with, man. You haven't had a good day till his birthday. This past summer on his birthday, we were filming at his place for this show that we're in, and it was just one of the great days, man. We had such a good time. I'm just roaming around his garden. It's Jurassic Park. I don't know squat about trees, right, or plants. I'm not. I don't know anything. I know pepper plants. That's about it. You can look at a plant and say, dude, that should have a dinosaur behind it. It looks like a Fred Flintstone plant, like it's behind a rock house or something. Just the coolest plants in the world. Then we check out. He's got 3 or 4 plants on his place. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Just occurred to me that I'm going to say it anyway, Tom. If it's bad, I'll delete the video after. That are extinct. So it's just amazing. Got big giant tortoises on it. And then that night after the shoot was over, the shoot lasted hours, but it was fun. It didn't feel like work. It never does, Then after we went to Outback Steakhouse for his birthday. God, it was fun. What a great day that was. Nope, Dizzy Dragovit's a good guess though, man. Nolan Cross, ever had Szechuan peppercorns? I love the feeling it adds to sauces. Dawson's got a great one. It does. The funny thing about Szechuan peppercorns, I used to think, it sort of numbs your tongue, but next time you chew one, it makes it feel like wherever it's touching your skin, it's making your skin vibrate. It almost feels like your skin's vibrating. It's the coolest thing. In fact, we have Blazing Foods got and people are waiting for it. I've been trying to get him to put it on the website. We just haven't got it on the site. Or maybe he did already. Chili Crisp. And it's got Szechuan peppercorns in there. Amazing. Travis just started some 7-year-old seeds I found this week. Very cool, man. You got to let us know how they work. Hi, Angela. Good to see you. And germinate your seeds in Red Lake 40 to make peppers extra red, right? That's hilarious. I think that's how it works, right? Dizzy Dragon Maruga Blend isn't a common name. Isn't a common name. Most Trinidad peppers just call them seven pot. Yep. Christopher Phillips was confused about the Maruga when he found it around 2010. You know, I've heard just Maruga Scorpion, Trinidad Maruga Scorpion. You know, and the whole seven pot thing is it's the myth, the urban legend that pepper's hot enough to heat 7 pots of chili, not a bowl, but 7 pots. It's kind of cool. Tom's leaving now to go hide in his rare plants. Are you leaving us, Tom? But I'll tell you what, you could hide. Listen, if things ever go south, I'm heading to Tom's house. You think I'm kidding? I'm not, man. I'm loading up everything I got, and I'm heading to Tom's place. All right, Scotty says, I want to start the League of Fire. I want to get in the League of Fire. What is your option for the best way to start someone who is a solid chili head like myself? If you're already a solid chili head, there's probably very little you aren't going to be able to do. There are some really rough chug challenges that are very, very difficult. You know, the Tube of Terror is 7 points. That's a really difficult one. But there are some that are, all of these are going to get you points, but they're all a little bit more challenging. I don't know. Listen, here's what you do. Go to the League of Fire, look at the different tables, do a little research, watch some videos of who's handled it and how they've done, and kind of base your decision that way. But there's stuff very, very easy to pull that just about everybody can try, to stuff that you really need to think about before you jump in. That's kind of cool. Wow, Alan's got two chocolate primatali and a red primatali sprout. Seeds from Tom. Gotta love that. Dale Gardens, or Dale's Garden. Dale and River, or River and Dale. Good to see you, Dale. Another live. Troy had some extra special peppercorns at the North Cape. Yeah, he did. I heard about that. Yeah, they're a new kind, that like unheard of or something. It's kind of interesting. I love ginger. Tatum, love ginger. I don't know if ginger's got heat. I guess it kind of does. I mean, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on that. Like I don't think wasabi has heat. It just doesn't want you to breathe. You know what I mean? And if you too much of it, it doesn't burn you. It just attacks your nasal cavities, and until you tap out. But I'm not sure if it's actually burnt. At least it doesn't really hit me that way. Scott Collins, you are the reason I had my first endorphin rush. Reaper and Scorpion did it. I love hearing stories like that. Is that bad? I don't feel like a degenerate, like I'm, contributing to the delinquency of a budding chili head. I think it's a good thing. I'm happy for you. Bishop Crown Seeds, Dizzy Dragon, that's a great pepper. It's dark out there. Tom's not going out in the dark. That chili crisp is so good. I swear to you, I'm not joking. I have a jug of it this big. There's this much left. I've gone through so much of it. It's good on everything. It really is. I didn't know that, Dizzy, about the 7 ribs. That seems like it could be almost like, I don't know. That seems questionable. Think of all the peppers I've cut open. They all had 7 ribs? I don't know. Interesting, though. I'll have to pay attention this year. I'm going to do that. Ginger is amazing. Ginger is so good for you. It's like a superfood or something. It's a good thing. What surprises me is that they aren't really cultivated. They just sort of grow and replant themselves in Trinidad wildly. Here's the funny thing. The guy that I know that has the Maruga 420, the actual seeds came from Maruga. Not just a pepper, but really from Maruga. And they made it all the way over and he got them. He lives in Virginia. All right? And where he lives, it's very strange. He's right on the water. Every day in the summertime, it's going to rain for about a half hour. It just does that. So he has the weather pattern there that, honestly, it sounds bizarre, but during the grow season, it very closely matches the weather patterns in Maruga where it's come from. He claims that's one of the reasons his peppers are hot. He says it's the hottest pepper there is. They're hot, but they aren't the hottest. I like wasabi. You guys ever have nasal napalm? That's a fun thing. Nasal napalm wants you to stop breathing. That's not even a joke. You're being honest, and honest is meaningful. Delayed typing. Thank you, Reaper teacher. Here's the thing. When I was a little kid, my dad said, if you don't lie, you'll never have to remember what you said. That just seemed like it's too much effort to try to remember stuff. You know, I remember it's hard enough to remember stuff I learned. I don't really have it. It's easy to be honest. Easier, actually. That's what this whole thing I'm doing on the bus pass, where I'm talking about my past. It's just a gigantic dose of honesty. And it's a lot of stuff I've talked about on my brother's channel, which is a drug channel. Or not, I shouldn't say drug channel. It's a sobriety channel. That's what it is. I've talked a lot about the stuff I'm talking about now, but on his channel. It's the first time I really dabbled on my channel with it. Do you have trouble with birds stealing your peppers, Tom? Tom, I don't know, man. Tom, do you have any birds that eat them? He's got, I'll tell you what a fun place to be. It's a very relaxing place. Ginger chili chews. Someone make that happen. If not, I will try. Think about. The seven rib theories was mentioned by the president of Cardi. That's what he told me. I'll have to look into that. There's so many things in the chili world that are like here. I'll tell you this. I met a guy in Australia. He was the first grower to grow. He won't be watching this, but he was the first grower to grow habaneros in Australia when habaneros were big. So he got habaneros, and he was growing like 10,000 habanero plants. At that time he was the pepper titan in Australia. And he told me the story. He says he went down a whole row of plants, one whole row. He took a pin. He took the pin and he poked every single pepper on every plant in that row. It took him a day and a half. He said it took forever. One poke through just the outer wall, not all the way through, just the outer wall, just to pierce all the way the outer wall lining. Like not just the wall, but pierce all the way through into the center of the pepper. And he told me that what ends up happening is that the plant thinks it's under attack, creates more capsaicin to protect the seeds, to give them a better chance of, creating more. Now, I told somebody that, who is one of the most world-renowned pepper growers. I mean it, world-known. I told him this theory. He says, I said to him, makes sense to me. It sounds good, right? He went, makes sense. Doesn't work. He told me he added 25% extra heat to every pepper. He says it's nonsense. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the whole seven, I've eaten 1 million 7 pots. I mean, not 1 million, but I've eaten, a lot. And just sitting here, the notion that every single one of them had 7 veins, I'm a dummy for not noticing that, because I've eaten way too many. I should have noticed that a long time ago. Dino Shart. What is your favorite basketball player? Man, I'm not a basketball fan whatsoever. I know it sounds bad. I'm sorry. Nick Q, good to see you. Yeah, I used to be I grew up an athlete. Every season there was a new sport. I was going to play something. So I was always playing something. I was a good athlete, but broke my back and broke one of everything, and those athletic days are gone. So I don't really watch a whole lot of sports right now. Football once in a while. Here's the thing. It's like watching a movie. Who's got time to drop 2 hours? I can't get that 2 hours back. You know what I mean? Last movie I saw was with my dad. He's dead now. I don't really need to see another movie. My mom says, you want to see a movie, Johnny? I'll go see a movie with my mom. That'll probably be the last movie I see for a while. If I have to see a movie, I'll see it at home. To me, it's too much time. It's a huge commitment, 2 hours. I don't know. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Man, what am I doing? Hey, Aaron. Good to see you, man. Oh, your eldest is unwell. I'm so sorry. I hope they feel better. Go do your thing, man. We'll say prayers for him. Hang in there. Groggy Gamer, 6.6 million Scoville units. And I'm on a hot ride, my man. Oh, sounds like you're doing a candy bar. Is that the world's hottest candy bar? It's the only thing I remember eating that was exactly 6.6 million. And man, that tasted bad. Oh, still can remember it. What's the best... Scotty Fox, what's the best way to get in contact with me about buying a few tubes of terror? Really, the best way is just to go to johnnyscoville.com. And you can just get them from there. And I'll try to sign a bunch tomorrow. Not that it matters to you, but I'll sign a bunch just in case. Someone needs to do an experiment. I like experiments. Wind just broke some of the branches off my ghost in particular. Oh, that's a bummer. A few pods gone, but let's see hot sauces. Good plan for tonight. Bummer you lost some pods. Hang in there. Scotty Fox, I'd love to see you conquer the Tube of Terror. It's a beast. You know what? I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that. It's got a great name. It's hurt a lot of people. I'm not laughing, but you know what I'm saying. I'd rather be with you guys than watching a movie. See, any day, I would so rather hang out with people who do this. This is an amazing expenditure of an hour to me, anyway. You know, because here's the thing. Like, you gotta understand. You want to hear me give you the actual number? Listen to this silliness. Are you guys ready? To date, the one we're watching, as soon as I hit end in about a half hour and the video's over, it'll be the 4,378th video that I've uploaded. It's a lot of videos, and 98% of them. I reach back here, I push a button on the camera, and I'm Johnny Scope. I eat something. But these, we're communing, we're interacting. I'm giving you energy, you're giving me energy, and it's a beautiful trade-off. So I'd rather do this too. Obo Bobo, or CBO Bobo. What is the best place to buy pure capsaicin powder crystals? Well, you know what? It's a good question. I bought them from a lot of places. I bought them from India. I bought them from Pakistan. I bought them from China. China's bad because they use a synthetic capsaicin. Because it's synthetic, it's not food grade. So that's no good. So just, here, you just got to search around. You really do. I bought some where we sent samples off, and it was supposed to be 16 million, and it was 12 million or something. So you got to be careful with what you get. Every single time we get a shipment, we send a sample off to know what we're getting. That way, if it's bad, we can go back and say something. But got to be careful with that stuff. No joke. I have yellow Reaper seeds, new to me. Can't wait to try them. Dale Gardens. You know what? They're so good. Yellow pods, man. I'm just such a sucker for yellow pods. The last 3 years in a row, my favorite pods have been yellow. They're the ones that I'm most excited to eat every single time without fail. Dizzy Dragon, my final thesis is going to be with a plasmid to inject that gives extra cycles of capsaicin. It's basically GMO super hots. Intriguing. You have my undivided attention. I love to feel the burn to get. I would love to feel the burn to get a signed tube. Would mean the world to me. I will do that tomorrow. I will sign several. So you got it. I'll even say to Scotty, you know what? Let me send a text to myself, and I'll actually say Scotty instead of just saying my name. Hang on a minute. You know what I do? I don't know if you guys ever do this, because I'm a dummy. I forget stuff. So I send a text message to myself. Sign tube of terror. For Scotty. There. And now I have a text message that's unread. Tomorrow I'll say, what's this text message? It's me. Sign that thing for Scotty. Groggy Gamer. That's from the Hellfire Hot Sauce. Yep. Oh, 6.6. The Hellfire. The hottest thing I've had from Hellfire Hot Sauce, I think, was their 6.6. Oh, you know what? I think it has 6.6. It has 6.6 million Scoville extract in it, is what you're saying. Yeah, it's a hot one, brutal hot. What's my daily hot sauce? Man, I don't have one, Vitaly. I really don't. Whatever I'm feeling, it changes daily. I'm fortunate to have a lot of different sauces, and my taste change like my music, Zippo Click. Good to see you. Man, you know what, Reaper Teacher? He's got to develop a thing for mustard pods. Can I tell you something? I'm really being honest here. It's one of my least favorite pods. Here's the weird thing about Reaper pods. I think it's just the nature of the pod. You got to pick them. It's different. It's not like picking a red pod and shipping it to somebody. You got to time picking it so carefully, because if you get a Reaper pod, if you get a peach pod, a mustard pod, if you get a mustard pod and it's matured properly, it tastes amazing. But if you don't, if it's not matured well, and you get a little bit too soon, a little bit too late, it doesn't. That's just my personal opinion. All that said, if you get one that's ripened perfectly, it's a delicious pepper. It's hard to get them like that for me. I think if I had a garden, I'd be way more easy to control it. Now I got to eat it now, that kind of a thing. But a lot of times when it gets to me, there's nothing I can do about it. Tom has sent me some. I've had some very good ones from Tom where you can even notice by looking at it, like they're ripe. You can just tell. You can look at a mustard pod and go, it's juvenile. It's not ready yet. So I guess to reword the whole thing, I think the timing of when you pick it and the ripeness matters more on a mustard pod than any other pepper. That's what I think. Chris Costa, man, I've been watching your channel for 6+ years. Man, you need a hobby, bro. I'm just teasing you, Chris. Love all the content. We'll definitely be on the bus until the wheels fall off, which I hope it never happens. What a kind thing to say, Chris. I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you so much. 6+ years, man. You're still watching? Thank you so much. I ever tell you guys this funny story? Literally, the first two weeks, maybe 3 weeks of the channel. True story. Maybe for the first month. I already got a bunch of people's attention because I was eating stuff. I had a really, really high tolerance even when I started. It's higher now. But I had a really high tolerance when I started. It was higher than most people at the time. So I had everybody's attention just like that. And I get a call from a guy, kind of a guy I looked up to. One of the reasons I started my channel. He reached out to me through Messenger. He goes, "Can I call you on the phone?" I was like, I was blown away. This guy I just looked up to was like, "Oh my God, this guy wants to call me." So I said, "Sure." I gave my number and he called me, and he said, it was funny. He goes, the two basic points he wanted to get to on this phone call. He's like, "What are you looking to get out of YouTube?" I said, "I don't know. Farting around, man. I have a Joe job. I don't know. I don't have any goal. I'm just playing. I'm having fun." He goes, "Because you really can't make a living at it." I swear he said that. And then he said, "Listen, I don't mean to, I've been doing this for a long time." He had already been doing it for like 3 or 4 years by the time I started. Maybe even 5 years. It was a long time. And he says, "Do you mind if I give you some constructive criticism?" I said, "No, man, please. You know a lot more than I do." He says, "You're uploading too much, in my opinion. You're uploading too much. You don't want to upload that much." And at that time, I was uploading like every other day. Like not even every day. Not 3 times a day. This is like the 4th or 5th video today. Today's been unusual. But I mean, back when I was only doing like 2 or 3 videos a week, he's like, "Man, you got to slow down. Because you don't want to give them too much content. People are going to get sick of watching you." I was like, okay. I'm going to keep making videos. Here's a funny thing. And he's a great guy. I really like the guy. I'm not knocking him, but it's kind of funny that was his advice to me. I like green pods. Green pods are my favorite. Not my favorite, but I really love it. I think green pods, I have a thing for green pods because the first really hot pepper I had was a jalapeno. Scotty, dude, that means the world to me. You will never know how much that means. Oh, come on. It's no big deal, honestly. Thank you, brother. Definitely be a video made. Cool. Shout out. Follow you for like 2018. Very cool. I will write on there, Scotty, and get that off quickly. Looking forward to seeing it. Unripe. Yeah, I know what you mean, Reaper teacher. You meant unripe. Yeah, green is another way of, yeah. It's funny. The funny thing about mustard pods, if you cut them open and they're not ripe, the insides are green. It's funny. Mustard pod turns yellow. See, that's what I'm talking about. Tom's pods. I'll get a mustard pod and it's yellow. Remember, Tom has sent me, Tom and I have a very long history together. He has sent me pods where we've had really ripe ones and ones that are a little premature just for me to tell the difference in taste and heat. The heat doesn't really change, but the taste is dramatic. I mean, really, really different. So it's all the timing of it. I mean, it really is a thing with mustard pods, I think. He wasn't familiar with the YouTube algorithm. Hello from Augusta, Georgia. John Clark. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. So, I got my, what am I flying out? I got my marching orders from this film company. I'm flying out. I was supposed to fly out tomorrow, but that didn't happen. So I'm flying out instead. I think it's the 12th. The 12th. And I get back on the 18th. So that's going to be fun because I'm going to give you guys a lot of really, it's going to be a lot of, here's the thing that I want to do this time. This is the second to the last shoot for the end of the first season. So we're almost done. I'm going to film them. I'm going to get some film of them and I'm going to upload it. And I made deals with them. I signed a contract. I'm not allowed to do certain things, but I'm just going to make sure it's nothing that divulges anything or really leaks anything out, but I'm going to get their faces on video. You know what's been funny all along? We've been burning people on the crew. Like Scotty. Tom knows Scotty. Scotty's a great guy. Scotty's a chili head. Scotty likes pain is the problem. He does, man. We were in, I don't remember where we were. We were in some hotel after a shoot, and we had primatales, and he ate a half a primatale. And this guy doesn't eat peppers. He stood there, he's like, but anyway, all along throughout the season, throughout the shoot, each day we're trying to get more people. Tom and I tried to get Brad a bunch of times. Brad just wasn't budging. No flexibility in that guy. Excuse me. Ed, your videos are cute. Take breaks during work. Keep them coming. Every 4 hours, whether you need one or not. Today's been a crazy day. There's been like a lot of videos today. How many did I upload? Was it 4? Like this is the 5th video. Is that true? Let me see here. No, 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th video of the day. No, wait. 1, 2. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, man. This is the 5th one today. Wow. Of course, one of them was just for a bus pass, so it's not that bad. Tadra, I'm currently eating a yellow sweet pepper. Ooh, I love yellow sweet peppers. The hottest pot I've had was a chocolate 7 brain strain crossed with a primatale at a flea market randomly. It's a hot pepper. Man, I'll tell you what, you take a piece of white toast and rub it against a primatale, you're going to have a hot piece of toast. That primatale is just a wicked pepper to me, man. That's why I'm so psyched about Killer Yellow. You have no idea how excited about that. Made my day. Chipotle Lord, my thoughts on cannabis. I have no problem. I'm not anti-drug whatsoever. I'm just anti-addiction. So, there's a lot of medical benefits that are undeniable that you can't really deny. A lot of them. So I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Dizzy Dragon loves chocolate pods. Boy, this past season, chocolate pods grew on me more than they have in any other season. Really loved them. Nighty! Ghosts are still my favorite pods. Perfect heat for me, maximum enjoyment. Used to get here in Texas too. You know the great thing about it's such a consistent pepper. You know what I mean? Rarely will you get a ghost that's like that. To me, it's a very, very, one of the more consistent peppers, I think. Flavor and heat. I like them too. One of my favorites. No problem, Chest Rockwell. Good to see you. I'm good to go. Brandon Bond. Thank you, Johnny and Tom Broom. You two started my habit 4 years ago. The meeting of you two started my need to grow peppers. It was Tom. I didn't do a thing, man. Seriously. No, I'm glad you're doing it. Here's the thing. It's a I'm going to talk about this on my channel, on the bus pass thing, but there are people that have given me a real hard time about trading one addiction for another. Used to drink. I don't anymore. I'm closing on 4 years of sobriety. And I've had people say, you're still, you're not a drunk anymore. Now you're just a pepper junkie. So my answer to that is, sure, all day long. Anytime you can trade a legal drug, it's healthy for you, brings people together, tastes great, no drawbacks, inexpensive. Trade that for a destructive habit that's going to, that ruins your life. Give me a break. Anybody wants to argue that point with me? I'll argue that one all day long. So, call me a junkie. I wouldn't call somebody else that. That would be offensive, but that's me. You'd love the different experiments they do at Pepper Night. Tom's a trip, man. Tom shows up. All these people come every time there's Pepper Night, all to get their burn on. It's great. It's very fun. Yeah, they are reliable. You can count on them, Dizzy Dragon. Christopher Allen, have you heard of farmer's market jalapeno, also called potato jalapeno corking? Lots of corking. I love jalapenos with corking. It's a great thing. I didn't know that it was associated with a specific market, but I see them all the time. You know what's really funny? Can I tell you a little secret? Years ago, if I saw a corking one, I wouldn't buy that one. Something wrong with that one. Now, if I see a pepper corking on it, I snag that first. I used to avoid them. I'm like, oh, what's wrong with that? Someone wrapped it in rope or something. It's strange. What is that? Now it's like, oh. They do look crazy. All right, Zippo, am I a freak by saying ghost peps don't bother me? No, not at all. They don't bother me either. One of my favorites, but I'm also able to get on top of it during the slower ramp up. Yeah, no, look, at the end of the season, a Reaper is a 1 on my scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, a Reaper is only a 1. So, no, it's not, you just have a high tolerance. It's good. You're a chili head. Scotty Fox, hard to get, but when the chocolate pot has that smoky flavor, boy, it's really funny. I've noticed it more this past year than I ever had before. Chocolate pods with smokiness. Even just a couple days ago, I noticed it. True story. The Bourbon Guy, great name. Scoville, of all the peppers you've eaten, what has pushed you to the heat of a level 5? Depends on what season. Like, I remember a Jigsaw in season 3 really hurt me. Season 2, a few chocolate bootlas really hurt me. BTR, Bootless Scorpion hurt me. The last 3 seasons, the only peppers that have gotten me that close are Primatali's. Although, I'll tell you what, there's just a couple other peppers in the works that I've eaten. I don't know if we should even talk about them. Signing NDAs and all. But yeah, there's some other peppers out there that have that potential. Give you a good example. I'm going to say I ate a pepper a few months ago, way past the peak season of pepper season. Now, when you eat a pepper, the hotter the weather, the hotter the pepper. Just kind of coincides. Off season, like towards winter pods, they aren't as hot. They're a lot smaller. I ate a pod months ago, many months, several months past peak season. And this pepper was stupid hot. And I just know that if I'd eaten that pepper 2 months prior, it would have been like Primatali or better hot. So we're in a glorious age to be a chili head. I mean, I'm serious. This is a glorious time to be a chili head. Some of the best things are happening. Greatest products are coming out, like the League of Fire, First We Feast. It's just an amazing time to be a chili head. If you aren't one, you should be one. Nothing's wrong with being a freak. I'm a freak. I am what I am. You know what's really funny? I was talking to, I gotta tell you a funny story. I was talking to one of the producers of the show I'm on, and they were talking about somebody that was almost going to be in the show and wasn't. We were discussing this person, and he goes, and I gotta tell you something. This person is a lunatic. All right, lunatic. I don't mean just a little, Anyway, he goes. He was asking me. I said, Matt, I don't know. I'd stay away from that. And he goes, he's just eccentric. I'm like, eccentric? I'm eccentric. He's a nut. I'm eccentric. We're all eccentric. Eccentric's a beautiful thing. And even slightly, here's the thing. My grandfather used to say to me all the time, we're all crazy. It's the degree of crazy that's the issue. When your tribe matches your vibe, you found people whose crazy matches your crazy. And that's a happy thing to have. That's kind of what's going on here, I think. Mike Fielder, Carolina Reaper peppers don't bother me. You know something? I know somebody who can eat Reapers all day long, but ghost peppers destroy it. So people are just, it's how some people are. Nothing wrong with that at all. Taydrum, thanks for stopping by, man. It's been a pleasure. Always. Please be careful. Be safe tonight. And have a good tomorrow. Ghosts are the most consistent, insanely stable pods. It's funny too. If you think about how long jalapenos have been stable, yet there's still that rogue. I've never had a rogue ghost pepper. There's like, holy crap, that's the hottest. I've never had that. This is the hottest ghost pepper I've ever had. Actually, it's not true. They were hotter, but it wasn't like. I definitely remember the hottest ghost peppers I've ever had, but it's wildly consistent. I have an excellent document. Every pod you ever try and what you give it. You're a great test subject. Oh, an Excel document. Can I tell you something? That's the only thing I'd bum out about. I wish if I could do it over again, and I went back, I would have noted every single pepper I ever ate. I should have done that. Malicious. Melissa, it's good to see you. Melissa from Malicious Seven Deadly Seeds has got on the bus. Thanks for stopping by. And we are, I hate to say this, but we're just about, we were going to stop it in 3 minutes because we're going to stop after an hour. But since Melissa just got here, we'll go an extra 5 minutes just because I hate doing that. I feel terrible. Have you guys ever done that? Has anybody ever done a live stream where right as you're about to log off, somebody logs in? I can't do it. There's no way. If you guys time it right, we'll go till the sun comes up. Just log off and have somebody come in 5 minutes to 11. Just got here, Johnny. I'll be like, oh, we got to go a few more minutes. String this along till the sun comes up. In a pinch. Thanks for stopping by. I think you're new this evening. I haven't seen you yet tonight. Good to see you. Keith Salmon. Look at this. Got to go a few more minutes. Better late than never. I agree with that. Keith Lego. Bad. Not only did we always joke about a straggler coming in the last minute, how about 4 rolling in just at the last second? Nothing wrong with that. We'll stick around. But at least here's the deal. Since you guys showed up late, you got to ask questions. That's the deal. You guys ask a question, I'll answer them. When is my book coming out? I've written a bunch. I just don't, the book I wrote, it's almost like what I'm doing on the bus pass, but here, even though I'm telling everything on the bus pass, there's a lot of stuff I'm not saying. You know what I mean? Let me give you guys a rough overview, though, of what's going on. I'm not pregnant, I promise you. Impossible. I know, it's terrible, Dizzy Dragon. I've done it. I felt terrible doing that, too. I wouldn't be offended. I finally got a chance to kick back. Dale, have a good night, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Who is messaging me? Good night, Dale. Have a great night, man. Bert. Miranda. Good to see you. All right, guys. So listen, we're going to roll a little bit longer since we had a few people hop on the bus late. But here's the penalty for being late is you got to come up with a good question. So ask a good question, I'll answer you. I think a documentary of you would be awesome, too. I'm not that exciting, though, Subtle. But thank you for saying that. Chell is awesome. You got me on the bus 4 years ago and never looked back. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I remember the first time someone said, long-time viewer. I'm like, what? But I guess it has been. 7 years. It's a long time. Charlie, I love you, dude. Praying for your mom. Have a good night, all right? Tell her we're all praying for her. You know what? There's not a documentary of me, but you're going to see something this summer. Stick around. I'm in it all over it. It's not about me, but boy, you're going to get a lot of me. Christopher Allen, Big Al is great. Funny thing you mentioned Big Al. I'm going to be with Big Al Saturday. He and I are going to spend the whole day together, so we're going to have we're going to make a few videos and have a really good time. It says cool, Reaper Teacher. It's a good bus. Okay, here's a question. Favorite Randy Rhoads riff? Oh, man. I don't know if I could even do that. I'm being honest with you. I don't know. He's, can I tell you something? I've heard did you ever hear I've heard some stuff that, like, not on albums, just like him tinkering around, some stuff that he's never even put on albums that you're like, what? Give me a minute. I'll think of, I don't know if I could pick a favorite. It's like picking your favorite AC/DC song or, I don't know if I could. I'll try. I really will. Zippo, thanks for this. You stayed late, giving us some overtime. Next 3 days, coho fishing. Oh, man, I wish I was there too, Keith. That would be so cool. Oh. That's not too bad. It's not. I get put on the spot all the time, Malicious. God, I don't really, There's a really, really great video of him where he was doing like like a guitar class. I don't know if it was called uh, Licks of the Gods or something. But there's a great video of him. It's almost like a teacher setting, and I'll come up with something better for you. He was one of the. I got into him when I was in like seventh, eighth grade. I had a friend who was a guitar player, and he got me into him. He was the first person to turn me on to him. It was a long time ago. Apparently, should be a video of a spice challenge, right? Boy, Monday, what a Monday! It's, today started off being horrific, but it kind of pulled out of it and got better towards the end. But CDL type, good to see you. Lost my bus pass. Can I still get a ride? You're on it, dude. You're good to go. Can you pay in peppers? Exactly. Pay the bus driver in peppers. You're good. Here's a question. How big is Al's tolerance? I was thinking, I was almost going to say Crazy Train, but that's too cliche. It's almost too cliche, but that was, it was pretty revolutionary for the time. Al's, Al's is a gamer. He doesn't mind going after it, but he's smart. He's not a dumb guy. He is a very, very, very smart guy, and he knows his body. So what he's willing to attempt is going to depend on what part of the season it is. And because he's been away from pods a lot because of his new gig, his tolerance is next to nothing. So what he's going to be willing to attempt on Saturday, I'm unsure of, but I might trick him. I don't know. Malicious. Really love the name. I got to tell you that, by the way. I love your videos, too. If you guys haven't gone over and watched her videos, you need to go check out Malicious 7 Deadly Seeds. For real. She's a legit sauce maker and makes fun videos, and she's a chili head. What got me into eating peppers? My dad, Papa Scoville, gave me a pepper when I was somewhere between 6 and 8, I think. It wasn't a dare. I just hounded him to death. I wouldn't leave him alone. Please, 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 please. No, you won't like it. Please, 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 like that. He did that to me a few times. He did that to me with a pepper and cheese. I ate it and liked it. It was one Christmas. It was Christmas Day, and he had some Jack Daniels on the rocks. I said, I want a sip of that. He goes, you will not like it. I said, come on, please. No, please, no, please, no, please, no. It was like a Bart Simpson thing. I did it for like 20 minutes. Finally, I was like, fine, here's a sip. Have some. I took a big sip and swallowed it. I remember I almost threw up because I had just eaten. I almost threw up. I looked at my dad, and he looked at me and goes, see, you thought I was having fun all this time. That's what he said to me. I kid you not. Pickling does, what pickling does is if you eat just a pepper, it's so contrary, you're eating just a pepper. Anytime you dilute it in something, you're going to dilute the heat of it. So you will lose some heat if you pickle it, in my opinion. Charles McLeod, love you, man. Please have a good night. The teacher that was small and evil, the one that beat me in first grade, Dizzy Dragon, Mrs. Pryor? Yeah, she died. What he's referring to a story I told on the bus pass. Are you talking about Mrs. Pryor, Dizzy Dragon? Can I tell you something? When she died, it was like, the witch is dead, the witch is dead. Can I tell you how horrifying that was? In kindergarten. She was a first grade teacher. In kindergarten, rumors flew. Do you understand rumors were circulating among kindergarten children? Like, we were all terrified of going there. All horrified. We knew it was going to happen. The stories were all over the place. Here's the thing. We were at the school, and the kids that were from first grade would come to the school they get dropped off the bus for their parents to pick them up here. So we hear these stories of her. She died. And wherever she is, she's beating somebody. I kid you not, man. Honest to goodness. Yeah, I love Big Al. Big Al is such a great guy. He really is. I love that man. Lana J. Sorry. One of my favorite YouTubers. Wow. That's a huge compliment. Thank you so much. There's 56 million of them. I really appreciate you saying that, Lana. You were definitely, Drew, you're absolutely going to see me in another chili eating contest soon. I was invited to the League of Fire belt match in San Diego. All right, it's invitation only, so it's a tremendous honor to be asked to go because it's just the best of the best. I am anticipating going. I can't promise, but I'm going to try to be there. I have a choice, I'd be in Australia, but we'll see. Not too hold on, in a pinch, what did you ask? I forgot. In a pinch, did I answer a personal question that in a pinch is apologizing for? Man, you don't need to apologize for a question. This is family talk. What did you say in a pinch? Oh, you mentioned having quit drinking. Am I a friend of Bill's? Hell yeah. No, I'm not. I didn't use Bill. I understand the reference, and I'm sober. I'm sober. I'm not. This is not too personal at all. I'm proud of my sobriety. I'm more proud of my sobriety than probably anything. More proud of that than the size of the bus or anything else. Without the sobriety, there isn't anything else. I am 3 years, 10 months, and 24 days sober. So the way I quit was I just decided I was I was never going to reach my potential, and I was doing everybody that watched me and everybody that interacted with me a disservice, and the biggest disservice I was doing to myself. So I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. So I quit. Don't miss it at all. But certainly a friend of Bill's. I just didn't use that program. Ozzy Osbourne. Man, you know what? I feel bad for Ozzy. Can I tell you something tragic? This is almost embarrassing to say. He's a bucket list guy that I never saw. How about that? Is that crazy? She was never caught. Here's the thing, Dizzy Dragon. I swear to you, there's the truth. Everybody in the town knew she was beating the cheese out of us. Everybody. The parents knew. The school board knew. Everybody knew. I came home one day with a welt on the back of my leg when she hit me with a rubber garden hose. I'm not making the story up. I swear to you, it's a true story. Everybody knew she was beating us. It was a different day, man. It was just a different day. And now, you know, if she did the things listen, if a teacher, if let's say a video surfaced of what she would do to us, and it was modern day and somehow like a video surfaced, she'd be in jail for 50 years. I swear to you, she beat all of us on a regular occurrence. She had different paddles depending on what your punishment was. If it wasn't so bad, she hit you with this one. If it was really bad, she had this one that had holes drilled in it, like in the flat side, so you could get through the air quicker. I'm not making any of this up. It's horrifying, really. Unbelievable. I used to tell my mom, I'm like, Mrs. Pryor's beating us. She's like, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, ridiculous. Listen, there was a girl named Carol, true story. Carol Sue was her name, all right? Daughter of a farmer. She was the farmer's daughter, that's what we called her. Farmer's daughter. She wouldn't shut up. She was in class. She just kept running her mouth. She says, so the teacher says, keep her mouth shut. And she even tells her what she's going to do. I swear, I'm telling you a true story. You're not going to, I can tell you, but you're not going to believe me. None of you will believe a single thing I'm going to say. She said, if you don't stop talking, I'm going to put red pepper in your mouth and tie your mouth shut. It's the most illogical threat, right? Like, excuse me, you're going to do what? She got red pepper, put it in her mouth. I can get witnesses that will testify to that. Took a gym sock and tied it around her head to keep her mouth shut with red pepper in her mouth, crushed red pepper. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not making any of this up. Horrifying. Like, I had PTSD. I was so scared in the morning. Like on Sunday night, it was a nightmare. Friday was the greatest day that ever happened because the weekend was there. Sunday night was a nightmare. It was horrifying because that, you know, I get up and go see that terrifying little woman. She was, you understand, she was 4 feet tall. She was teeny, but she could get around with a paddle like I'm serious, man. She was a beast. No problems, Melissa. My pleasure. I've seen Ozzy 3 times. Oh, yeah, man. You know what? I'll tell you what, I've seen 100 concerts online. Honest to God, I've seen 1 million. Congratulations, Aaron. You stay sober, man. That is very cool. Kerfluffle. What a great name, man. Much respect from Omaha. You remember your first pepper-induced endorphin dump? I do, actually. I was like 13 years old. I'm going to tell you the story, then we're going to end it. I love you guys a lot. Thank you for hanging out. Surround the world. Man, thank you so much. So look, here's the deal. Here's my first, and Harold, good to see you, man. Boy, all these people showing up right before I'm supposed to get off. I feel terrible. We'll go a few more minutes. I told you, if you time it right, we'll watch the sun come up. I was at a pizza joint when I was 13 years old. Mind you, I'm 50. Listen, it was a long time ago. I was 13. We're in a pizza joint called Papa Gino's in New Hampshire. And I was always that kid that wanted extra everything, you know. And when there's a pizza, you're a kid. You can control what you put on it. Pepper, cheese. They're like, give me all that. you can control it. So I was like, I got the red pepper and just did this for like 5 minutes. There was that much red pepper on a piece of pizza this high. And my dad's like, Johnny, what in the world are you doing? I said, put some red pepper on there. I mean, it was an absurd amount of red pepper. And I was a kid. I didn't have any tolerance. And he said, you can't throw that out. I said, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to eat it. And one bite, I knew it was a mistake. I mean, just one bite. My face was on fire. My lips were on fire. And I ate that whole slice of pizza. And about halfway through, I remember getting this rush. And I had never had a buzz before in my life. I was a little boy. Never did anything. So I remember feeling this amazing rush through my body. I remember my fingers were tingling. I remember, what I remember thinking two things. I remember looking around the table thinking, like, are they all feeling the same thing that I'm feeling? I didn't really, I was like, are they feeling this too? Is this why we come to this restaurant? That's what I was thinking. Like, wow, this is my favorite restaurant. And then I remember thinking, if they're not, do they know that I'm feeling this right now? It was weird. But that was my first one. And it lasted a long time. I was sick that night. My stomach really hurt. Next time I went there, I did it again. For real. Dances with comic books. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Harold, nice to see you, man. Back in the day, we used to get paddled from our class if we dropped a ruler in mechanical art class. Yeah, if you knew how bad this woman, she was. I'm not kidding. She was fierce. Like when you were we're talking, you understand how traumatic that was. I'm in kindergarten, and there were rumors. Like the adults didn't even know what we were talking about. There were rumors like, Mrs. Pryor, she's going to beat the cheese out of us. I hear she hits us with paddles. They're like, whatever. There's no way she does that. Wow, man. She was rough. And we could laugh about it now, Bert. But it wasn't so funny at the time. And what did she do? She'd beat the hell out of us all day long. And then line us up at the end of the day and kiss us all on the forehead before we got on the bus. I'm serious. Kiss us on the forehead. I'm like, and when I tell you she was this big, she was just a teeny little thing. But fierce, forget about it. Scary things come in little packages, man. Mr. Wolf, I'm late. 5 more minutes. Oh, all right. But ask a question. Big fan of the streams. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate you guys being here. Mr. Wolf in the building. Big fan, Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf got the very last Mother of Pearl Chase the Eve hot sauce. It's no longer for sale. Sold out. We're not going to do more. Flamin' Jackson has a question. Are there any crosses of habaneros with super hots that retain the unique habanero burn? What a phenomenal question. Wouldn't that be great? So in other words, if you had something like, if you crossed a Reaper with a habanero and somehow the cross had the Reaper heat, but it had that sting of a habanero. Can I tell you something? If you and I could figure out how to do that, forget about it. We could make $1 million because that would be the scariest pepper in the world. I don't know. Tom Broom. Oh my God, Tom Broom's a genius. You see that comment? Holy mackerel. Tom, I love you, man. I really do. You're the best. That's hysterical, man. I love that. How do you make sure hot sauce is no longer fermenting? Make sure the pH is right. You're going to look for a pH of somewhere around 3.5. It's going to make sure everything is dead, nothing is growing, and at that point you're good. But if you don't do that, if you don't put something in there to stop it, you can get problems. It's a delicate thing with fermenting. You got to be careful with it. I'll tell you a funny story. This is a sad story. Person, I met her at a hot sauce show. She asked me if I would review some of her sauces. I said, sure. So she sent me a case, a 3-pack of her sauces. And I was sitting on the back porch. I was living in Reno, taking care of my dad. I was on the back porch. I had the channel set up. And I had the camera going. And I'm doing the video, right? Thank God. I mean, thank Jesus it wasn't live. So I'm holding up the bottle, talking about how I met her, and she's the sweetest girl in the world. I met her grandmother, I met her son, I met her sister. They all came out. They wanted to meet. It was really neat. I'm opening the thing, and as I'm cracking it, it went. It shot off the top of the bottle like a champagne bottle, like you had one shook up. It came out with force. It left hot sauce on the ceiling of the overhang of where I was sitting. I'm looking up, and it was fizzing everywhere. Fizzing everywhere. I was like, oh my God. So I poured it out. It means there was botulism. Something's wrong. That's a terrifying thing. It only happened to me 2 times. Both times with hobbyists. They weren't professionals. And I called her immediately and said, hon, who'd you send that sauce to? She goes, a few people. I'm like, you need to call every one of them right now and tell them not to. And I felt terrible telling her that. And the saddest part is, I don't want to talk about it. She's not with us anymore. We'll leave it at that. Very sad. What's your favorite song to play on guitar, Blake? You know what I've been doing lately? I've been writing a lot of stuff. So lately I've just been I got like 15 songs I'm working on. So for the last 2 months, I've only been playing my original stuff. But I really like Rush a lot of Rush stuff. Like a lot of Led Zeppelin. Love AC/DC. Flavin Jackson loves that. Mother of Pearl Spoon. Thank you, bro. Travis W. Is capsaicin present in anything other than peppers? It's a dandy question. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's probably it, to my knowledge. I mean, I know that you have resin ferrotoxin, which is not actually it's a compound that's very similar to capsaicin, but it's not. But if you try it, you'll think it's capsaicin. So, but it's not technically capsaicin. So I'm not really sure. It's a good question. Do you remember which was my first super hot? Yep, boot. You're right, Dizzy Dragon. That was it. Some populations of fermenting sauces is a dangerous game. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. It was such a sad time too, because a month later she was gone. That was just heartbreaking. 3.7, you'll be. I think you know what. Let me see the range. I think you'll be fine if it's 3. Hold on. Give me just 1 second. If you're 3.7, you're going to be fine. I'm just about positive though. But just give me 1 second just to be on the safe side. I'll tell you what. I'll email you after. I'll find out the acceptable range. I think 3.7 is going to be fine. But I'll check. If you Google what's the acceptable pH range on a hot sauce, they'll tell you. But you need to hear one of my own songs. Kerfluffle, we appreciate your time, Johnny. I'm off to bed. Thanks for hanging out, man. Having some crack balls. Enjoy, man. I knew what you meant, brother. Have a great night. Thank you for hanging out here. You know what's really funny? I don't miss my gifts. I have my Gibsons packed in boxes. I don't even think about them. And there was a time where I used to look at it. And I'd put it next to my bed when I went to bed and look at it. I can't fathom even playing it again. Isn't that weird? I can't imagine I ever say that. Ever. I wanted one from the time I was. Oh, it's still bubbling at 3.7. Yeah, you gotta. Could be your meter. Because it shouldn't be bubbling at 3.7, I don't think. Yeah, below 4 is shelf stable. So at 3.7, you should be fine. That's a little, look into it. Be careful. How often do we eat super hots? Not often enough. I'd eat them every day if I could. When it's pod season, I eat them every day. Gotta say, wish we were all in the same room, but this is close. The history of Chilitans is interesting, and I like them. Yeah, it's a great pepper. There you go. Drew, thank you, bro. You're an intelligent dude. Capsaicin is also found in smaller amounts in other spices, such as oregano, cinnamon, and cilantro. Thank you so much. I love cilantro. You know what I made? Oh, man. What day is today? You guys like gyros? I made my own gyros. They were so good. Had that tzatziki sauce on it and everything. That was amazing. Dizzy Dragon, thank you so much. All right, so listen, I think we've stuck around a little bit for the stragglers. I think we're going to wrap it up now. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. To your knowledge, what is the hottest pepper that grew indigenously without cultivar crossing? That's a great question. I knew that question once. It's not even that hot a pepper. Everything now is, that's a great question. You know what? That would be the most amazing question on a game show because everybody would get it wrong. I bet you Tom will answer that. If Tom doesn't answer that, I bet you Drew V could probably answer that. 5 minutes turned into 30. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'm sorry for anybody who just rolled in. Catch us live again on Wednesday. We won't be going live tomorrow. All right, because tomorrow's Tuesday, but we'll be back live on Wednesday. I love you guys. I mean it. Thank you guys for taking the time to hang out with me. I need to tell you guys what the promo code is. I'll do the first thing in the morning. I'll do a video for the bus pass. It'll be right after the morning video, and it will tell you what the promo code is to get your tincture from Tom. All right? Love you guys a lot. I mean it. You're my family.